What we can do and will do is support the aspirations of the Libyan people.
I'll try to be as brief as I can. When the revolution in 1969 happened, the first thing Gaddafi says that rent is a very, very terrible thing for families. So, and having a house, owning a house, it's a basic human right, and nobody has to pay a rent. My dad never paid a rent. We stayed in our house, our own house, because we have a house, and it's our right as human beings.
When you're newlywed and you don't yet have a job, you get free apartments. Libya is a beautiful country.
Are there billions of dollars that he's spending building homes, building apartments for his people? Yes.
Gaddafi vowed to house every Libyan, many of whom were still living in tents and houses made out of oil drums. He also vowed that his own parents, who lived in a tent, would not be housed until every Libyan was housed.
His mother had only one complaint. Her son insists that they remain in their tent until every Libyan is properly housed.
He fulfilled that promise, his own father dying before he had the opportunity to move him into a home. Large-scale housing construction took place right across the country, all Libyans being given a house or apartment to live in for free.
Our support for governments that are ultimately responsive to the aspirations of the people.
Libya. It's a vast country, hot, dusty, and dry, 90% desert. So you may be surprised to know there's a huge river flowing beneath it, a vital source of drinking water for Libya's cities, a man-made river that could one day even turn desert into farmland.
قاعدين بيرسموا الحكومة يعني هذه نعمة من نعم الله حتى بيوتكم تو فيها لا فيها المية كلها مدينة خدمة طاقة فيها من الحد إلى الحد عندنا الخزانات يدروهم.
Next things come to mind about my leader Muammar Gaddafi is the man-made river, which was a great miracle in my country, that it's most of it desert and we don't have water. And he managed to get the water out of the desert and spread it all over Libya so we can have good water, so our food would taste better.
Has Gaddafi used the oil money to build Libya? Yes. Did Gaddafi use oil money and discover water under the Sahara Desert and brought that water to the surface and brought water from Benghazi all the way to the border almost of Tunisia? Did he impose farming in the desert so that they could feed their own people? Yes.
Supplies of food and fuel were choked off. Water for hundreds of thousands of people in Misrata was shut off.
هذه هي الأنابيب التي تنتقل عبرها ملايين الأمتار
and we cut off much of their source of supply. If we tried to overthrow Gaddafi by force, our coalition would splinter. We would likely have to put U.S. troops on the ground to accomplish that mission, or risk killing many civilians from the air.
We are dropping bombs on crowded cities at night where old people and children are sleeping. And we're watching it on CNN.
And terrorized innocent people around the world, including Americans who were killed by Libyan agents.
They're hiding this. They're hiding this. What's going on now? Okay, all the people are here. Just, of course, yes, just to be supportive for our leader Muammar Gaddafi. Okay, and they want to hide this.
But, say analysts, it's not just what's being hidden; it's also what's actually being said.
What we're getting is a pro-U.S., pro-Pentagon, one-sided picture of a situation which fills the media with the idea that there's freedom fighters involved in Libya and that there's a government regime that's been an atrocious terrorist government for since 1970, roughly. This is nonsense.
You say to your family, 2 officers were killed today in Benghazi by an al-Qaeda-like group. You tell the American people one thing, you tell your family an entirely different story. We know, not we think, not it might be, we know the attack in Libya had nothing to do with the film. It was a planned attack, not a protest. State Department experts knew the truth. You knew the truth. But that's not what the American people got.
For them to call this and say this was government propaganda to hold us there as human shields when they didn't even leave the hotel, the correspondent didn't leave the hotel and go and see for himself, is ridiculous. We were taken there, we went in through the security, we filmed the building, we were given 15, 20 minutes to do that, 5 minutes at Gaddafi's tent, and then we were taken out. And I was literally physically pushed back on the bus when we left. That's how quickly the government officials wanted to get us out. If I sound angry, it is because I am. As I say, I expect lies from the government here. I don't expect it from other journalists. And it's frankly incredibly disappointing to me, Wolf.
Our drivers...
Get in the car, Mary.
You guys! Wait!
Get in, Mary.
Wait! Wait!
You in, Mary?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay, just calm down. Sway for door. Down, get down!
Okay, we're leaving this area because there's gunfire all around us, and we believe that Gaddafi's forces are doing a roundabout movement, so we are rushing out of this area.
You all right, guys? Alex?
Everybody's fine.
Hot water from a pot was poured upon the head of this woman. Now, when you see the burns on her body, throughout her body, from her head all the way down to her legs and possibly her feet, you should question, did this woman stand right there while hot water was poured on her? And it is said in this video that she resided and worked in the Gaddafi family compound. Over the last many months, the Gaddafi compound has been bombed by NATO. Being bombed by NATO means that you're going to have lots of bodies that have been burned by hot metal, hot liquids from the bombs. So this is what you see with this lady. Are they using her? Coaching her in what to say? Is she afraid for her life? I'm sure she is, because people know that she worked for the Gaddafis. She lived in that compound.
Journalists were arrested, sexually assaulted, and killed.
Repeated affirmations is essentially this. I'm going to try to tell you that 2 + 2 is 5. And how am I going to convince you of that? Well, let's say I got Stephen Hawking to talk in his way, in a muffled tone, about the new mathematics which allows 2 + 2 to be 5. And then I got a Nobel Prize winner who said, yes, there are conditions under which 2 + 2 could be 5. And then another speaker and another speaker. And pretty soon it's repeated so much that you start to believe that maybe 2 + 2 is 5 or could be 5. That's what repeated affirmations is. Say the lie over and over again with authority figures, and it starts to be believed. Here's Joseph Goebbels, the propaganda minister of Nazi Germany. Propaganda must therefore always be essential and repetitious. It must confine itself to a few points and repeat them over and over. Okay, thank you, Mr. Goebbels. Now, George Bush said almost exactly the same thing. See, in my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over to kind of catapult the propaganda. Well, that's exactly what happened with Iraq.
You must remember, dear people of America, that whenever government wants you to think and act in a certain way that would bring justification to an action that they are already planning to make, they must make the person that they hate a boogeyman.
Faced with this opposition, Gaddafi began attacking his people.
يا أصدقائي في أوروبا، يا صديقي المسكين برلسكوني يلي مغلوب على أمرك، افتح الإذاعة الليبية. يا صديقي المسكين سيراكوزي، افتح الإذاعة الليبية. لكن ننصحك داخل مهديات قبل عين بالعين والباب يظلم، الطفل بالطفل والعائلة بالعائلة والبيت بالبيت والمقر بالمقر. إذا قررنا نحن قادرون على أن ننتقل إلى أوروبا مثل الجراد مثل النحل. ولكن ننصحكم أن تتراجعوا قبل لا تحل بكم الكارثة. أولا انظروا للشعب الليبي. هل الشعب يحكمه دكتاتور؟ هل هذا الشعب مكبوت وتسلط عليه؟ هذا الشعب تنادى من كيف زحفت الجماهير من كل مكان بدون امر من معمر القذافي. انا نفسي فوجئت بالسيل العرم من جماهير الشعب الليبي، الرجال، النساء، العائلات، الاطفال. انظروا اطفال، انظروا الاطفال، انظروا العائلات، انظروا النساء. من جابهم معمر القذافي، جاوا في العراق، جاوا بقوة التحدي. هذه هي الشجاعة، هذا هو التحدي. هذا اليوم يوم مشهود يوجه فيه الشعب الليبي رسالة عالمية وتاريخية تكتب في التاريخ أنه بعد 100 يوم من القصف المتوالي ليل ونهار والصواريخ والقنابل تخرج العائلات والأطفال والرجال والنساء إلى الساحات وتغص بها الميادين والشوارع، ليس في طرابلس بس ولكن في كل المدن الجماهيرية.
ورئيس الاستخبارات أسميك بالأسماء عبد الله السنوسي، أبو زيد دوردة، تهامي خالد، كانت اجتماعات مكثفة للتعاطي والتعامل مع
d'America di poter fare intervenire anche i nostri velivoli.
أكد رئيس الوزراء الإيطالي السابق سيلفيو برلسكوني أن ما حدث في ليبيا لم يكن ربيعا ولا ثورة، بل كان قرارا للسلطات الفرنسية بالتدخل العسكري في هذا البلد وتقديم نزاع داخلي يجري فيه على أنه ثورة لتبرر أمام المجتمع الدولي تدخلها في ليبيا. وقال برلسكوني أن الرئيس الفرنسي السابق نيكولا ساركوزي كان متحاملا عليه لأنه ذهب إلى ليبيا ورأى ملصقات كبيرة تحمل صورة القذافي وهو يعانقني، فعاد إلى أتباعه يقول أن برلسكوني وإيطاليا سلبانا كل الغاز والنفط الليبي، مشيرا إلى أن الطائرات الفرنسية بدأت بمهاجمة ليبيا قبل أن يتخذ قرار مشترك بهذا الشأن.